Leo, hello, and welcome to your fall 2022 shapeshift reading, where we're looking at the shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shapeshift looks and feels like in the fall season. I'm Amanda of Unseen Hands Tarot. I'm your reader, and I do these shapeshift readings for all 12 signs of the zodiac for us to investigate together in the shifting space. This is an online community of esoteric seekers and sleuths like yourself who want to use tarot, astrology, and other divination tools to experience, investigate, and live through your ongoing shifts and changes season after season. So if that sounds like you, and if this reading ends up resonating for you this fall and you'd like to explore that with us in the shifting space, there will be an opportunity for you to do that by clicking the link in the video description. More on that soon. Let's get into your shift. We're using the gorgeous Goblins and Gardens tarot deck. This is the deck by Jonathan Suchuk. If you dig this deck and are into it as much as I am, you can go to goblinsandgardens.com and get yourself a copy. Okay. Leo, let's see what the Goblins and Gardens are up to for you this fall. What's the shapeshift for Leo? Okay. One more. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Leo, this is the shift. This is the shift. Yes. Okay, this is the shift I have been wanting to read for you for like 3 years. This is what this feels like. And I kind of felt that energy as I sat down with the cards, shuffling them. But I didn't want to get excited and get ahead of myself. And I still don't want to, right? Because we have more cards to pull here. But let's look at this together. Leo, you are shifting out of the Six of Swords into the Fool through the Four of Wands. Do you know how big this feels? It feels like this armored goblin in the Four of Wands looking over at the Six of Swords is finally ready to move on, mentally and emotionally, especially, and start a completely new journey, a completely new chapter with the Fool card. The Fool card is card 0. This is the do-over. This is where everything sort of resets for you, Leo. Maybe something major is newly beginning in your life. Maybe you're beginning a new job. Maybe you are beginning a new creative endeavor. Maybe you're moving, quite literally. Whatever this is an opportunity for you to also shift mentally and emotionally into a completely clean slate or a completely new headspace. The Six of Swords is intense. It's really tough energy. And I mean tough, resilient. It's like having come through a really difficult battle, incredibly strong and like armed with 6 limbs to fight whatever it is that would come and wreck your peace. You know, that's what it feels like. It sort of feels like this newly discovered sense of strength and peace in yourself that you are actually willing to go to bat for. Like you're willing, it's sort of, it's got this bring it on energy. I'm thinking about Mars in Gemini this fall and the Mars retrograde this fall into the new year. And I'm looking at this armored. It's sort of like, what are you protecting? And what are you suddenly realizing you are willing to fight for? And this, again, this feels like something about your mental peace. It's like maybe you've gained a new level of understanding of what it actually means to be and feel at home in yourself. And you are willing to protect that. At any cost, because you have moved on from something that was not right for you, and I think maybe into something that is much more right for you and feels much more like home, because the Four of Wands this sort of feels like this goblin is out here armored with the sweet, I don't know, there's something sort of sweet and delicate about these flowers, but it's like, I'm willing to protect the sweetness of my fortress, the sweetness of my home space, the sweetness that I have discovered either in myself or in my environment. And it's like you're carrying that with you as you move on into this new chapter or into this new space. Again, whether that's literal or physical for you, or just like moving on into a new mental headspace. Boundaries are coming up here really strongly. As well as whatever this is about. Because here's what we're looking at. We're looking at this like sidewalk, or these stones that look like they've been laid over or through a river. And it's almost like this goblin here has been put in place as like a gatekeeper, saying, you are ready to plant new seeds. These are eggs that are laid on the underside of the leaf, which feels like the Fool energy. That's the new beginning. And it's sort of like reminding you when you are ready to sort of turn back, or when you are maybe wanting to go back to the familiarity of whatever states that you have previously been inhabiting. This energy is the gatekeeper that says, nope. Remember, there's no going back. You know, like, remember you are choosing this. Remember you have chosen to move on in a very significant way, because this is a major archetype. This is a major arcana. This is no small potatoes here. You have chosen to move on in a big way, and you cannot cross back into the past. And there's this very fierce six-armed being here making damn sure that you do not. The Six of Swords is a card of moving on, especially mentally and emotionally, and it can sometimes indicate transit or travel or like physical moving. But it does say it's time for you to look forward, not backward. And I'm remembering that biblical tale of Lot's wife. Given clear instructions to leave this city or leave this place where you are, and do not turn back and look back towards where you have been. And of course, as she was leaving, she turned around and looked back at the place that she left, that I believe was being destroyed. Am I right about that? And Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt. Ouch. You know? So it's sort of, if you check out this full visual, once again, we get this story of, interesting how this could be Lot's wife, you know, like this could be you in that story looking back and meeting this goblin that says, no, remember, you are not looking back. Remember, you have already planted new seeds. You have got to progress forward. This being is forward facing on the journey. This being has a tendency to want to look back to where you've come. So I'm wondering, Leo, if this fall, interesting, with the Mars retrograde, there might be something sort of regressive, or like there's there's a lot of forward facing, a lot of action and energy that is opening new doors for you and sort of pushing you through them into new experiences, new journeys, clean slates, new chapters, new books even. But there is something about a retrograde energy that may be tempted to turn back. Or at the very least, there's a lot of review. We are also coming out of a Mercury retrograde as we move into the fall season. So that could be showing up here, and we'll be facing another Mercury retrograde as we exit the fall season. So interestingly, that this fall is bookended by Mercury. Mercury's retrograde, which often take us back, give us some sort of kernel of really important revelation or information that we need to actually move us forward. You know, it's that thing of sometimes we got to review to move forward, or sometimes we have to like go back to go forth. There was a Sagittarius reading, I believe, in the spring of 2022 season that was called Go Back, Go Forth. Go check that out. Might have some juice for you, especially if you have planets in Sag. Or if you're in 9th house, Leo. Anyway, you might find yourself during this season looking back and seeing very clear gatekeepers that say you cannot return to where you were. You must face and move forward into whatever newness this new adventure has for you. Leo, this feels fresh. This feels fresh, and I'm really excited about that because I've been giving you essentially some version of the same reading for like 2.5 years now, maybe even longer. If you go all the way back on the channel, wouldn't that be a journey? I haven't done that, going back to the beginning of the Leo readings on this channel, I think, which were like 2018 or 2019, and progress in just seeing the progression. It sort of feels like there's just been this like toiling and roiling in place. And this full energy does feel like over the last maybe 3 seasons, spring, summer, fall, there's been some sort of turnaround, and now you are actually facing forward. and moving on and making your way out of whatever you've been in, this passage that you've been in over the last few years. I wonder how many Saturn return Leos I'm talking to, because that's the energy of this. Anyway, we have to get more information now, Leo. Okay, I've got some other decks here to help us out. I've got the Botanica Tarot, this gorgeous deck. Ugh, I'm so excited to pull from this garden for you. And then we've got the Hieronymous Bosch Tarot, this deck of many more goblins to add to this party. So if you're into this, Leo, this reading is resonating with you, you want to dive deeper into this and have a whole shift experience this fall, the shifting space is where you'll be able to find the full reading. You'll be able to connect with the community of shifters in there, other Leo people experiencing the same stuff. There's a chat space where you can connect and share insights and experiences and keep up with the transits as they're unfolding. We have 2 live check-ins mid-season and end of season, so we can help each other track these shifts as they unfold. There's a guidebook for you to do that, a personal count. Like, there's so much happening in the shifting space, and I would love for you to check that out and see if it's the right thing for you. Click the link in the description below, and maybe we'll see you on the other side.